I've got a lot of insults that I like to use on the internet that I've started to like debut in person. You know, like you look like somebody whose girlfriend has very low self-esteem. That's one I used recently. Or you look like somebody whose daughter had to learn really early how to lock her bedroom door.
Oh God.
I said that to one guy. He had no idea. He like, it just went over his head. And then he was like, wait a minute, did you just insult me? I'm like, yeah, basically.
Amy did one on the show that we recorded this weekend, which she just said, tell your dad I said hi.
Funny.
Yeah. Pretty good. All right. Who's ready?
I'm ready.
Just throw it to the beginning of the show. We already started. Just record welcome to the show at the end. Now go ahead.
Welcome to the IA Critics podcast. I'm professional film critic Sean Patrick. Hi, Jeff.
Hola.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
Bob's here.
Yay, Bob.
Yep.
We got to see him once a quarter.
Yeah.
Otherwise we get...
It's a quarterly visit from the boss.
I think I almost went close to a year before the prior one. Seen 3 movies since then.
Busy.
Well, let's start there then. What have you seen?
Well, after the last time I was here, I believe that weekend, 28 years later, whatever, you guys told me I needed to see for that Iron Maiden scene. So I went out and saw it like the next day.
What'd you think?
I was amazed. One of the best film scenes. I mean, who is that actor again? Is it
Ray Fiennes?
Ray Fiennes. Like, I feel like he's more of a real actor, and to be dancing around a Number of the Beast, this was really, to even be in that mood to begin with, just seemed like a cool choice, and it was one of the best scenes, like you guys said. I will never forget that.
I feel like since he did those wizard movies that we don't talk about, he really has kind of loosened up. He still, does some prestige things, but I mean, you got to work with Danny Boyle, and so
that's true. And I haven't really watched those wizard movies, other than maybe for the show once. I kind of forgot about them already.
Yeah, I've tried to.
But I mean, something like, I kind of knew something was coming. I'm like, how do you possibly do this and have it not be dumb?
Yeah.
Like, if you were to describe that to me, it would sound like the stupidest thing ever. I can't believe they made that good, and they did.
There's this whirl of chaos leading up to it, and the movie is just this whirling chaos throughout, and then you get there and it makes perfect fucking sense.
Exactly. Yeah, literally one of the best scenes in movies in the last 5 years.
Oh, for sure.
It's right there. I mean, in terms of needle drops, I mean, I'll never beat Megan 2.
True.
But it's right there. It's like,
I haven't seen Megan.
Oh, Robert, you have to see it.
The biggest laugh of the last 3 years is in Megan 2.
Oh my God. I watched that, like,
Intentional.
Yeah, oh, totally. Yeah.
It's a complete intentional
It
joke.
It is a comedy. It's not a horror movie. It's not really a sci-fi movie anymore. It's kind of a weird comedy. And just that, oh my God. You know how she sang in the first movie? She sang to the little girl. Well, she sings to somebody else, and you're going to die when you hear the word.
It's just the choice of song is just, I mean.
I'll have to go watch that.
It's available anytime on streaming now.
Yeah.
So I think it's on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite of all the streamings.
It's mine because it has The Office. So.
Well, I'm trying to watch Parks and Rec. I haven't seen that really ever, so trying to.
Yeah. I just keep forgetting to cancel Peacock now that they don't have the WWE.
That's why I got it. I do not have ESPN.
No.
I went to cancel it. I got $2.99 for 7 months. So I was like, okay, sure.
Well, at some point, I want it. Like, they have the Kill Bill, Double Bill, or whatever. I want to watch that. Like, because my son's seen like every other Tarantino movie but that. On his own too, which is frustrating. I mean, they don't want to watch movies with me anymore.
Yeah.
So that makes it harder. I did see Disclosure Day yesterday, and he had a full-blown panic attack in that movie because my wife can't wait for. She already got mad at me for telling my friends this, but she was on TikTok and kind of fell for some of the false reporting of the government gave Steven Spielberg some some information to make Disclosure Day because they just released a bunch of stuff on aliens and all this is real. So she's telling my kids this, and and he's starting to feel kind of like he looks over and he's like, "Is this real?" I'm like, "No, it's not real." And then like the main character's kind of going through some weird stuff. The first main character before Emily Blunt comes in. And then he starts kind of having the same symptoms that guy has. And then he starts getting lightheaded and like, because I need to go to the bathroom. Then he goes and I'm like, he's been gone a while. I'm like, fuck. So then I get up and go over and he's on his knees. He was in Galesburg, like dry heaving into the toilet. I'm like, you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm just need to. So I went, got him a water, come back in and he's like, feels a little better. And he's like, I got to go back. And I spent the last hour of the movie standing in kind of like the hallway at the end of the theater where he just out of view from the people sitting down, watching it that way, making sure he did add to the to the movie a little bit. And then I saw He-Man.
You'll know he's in trouble if he starts talking in clicks. What did you think of Disclosure Day?
I so bad wanted when they unveiled the alien at the end for it to be E.T. I mean, it was good. There wasn't anything. It was a Steven Spielberg alien movie, so obviously it's really good, but it's just not. I don't know.
I don't think there's as much as they can do with the premise anymore, like of aliens invading, unless it was like, especially Spielberg, because he did the definitive Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And
right.
Like I said on the show before, this can be a sequel to it. It could also be a sequel to E.T. And I felt like the look of the alien kind of rode that line a little between the grays from Close Encounters and E.T. The head was a little wider and squatter, and yeah, it very well could, it could be act as a sequel to either one of them.
No, I did enjoy it. As you guys know, when it comes to outer space movies, I tend to not care. I just have no
except for
interest.
Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I still like, to me, Arrival's like the bar, and this was good, but it wasn't Arrival in my mind. But it's Spielberg. I mean, Spielberg makes Spielberg movies, and it's obviously he doesn't make bad movies, really.
Yeah.
So,
did you see Project Hail Mary?
Yes, I did. I did see that. So I did see another movie in the theater. Like way after that came out too.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good alien space movie.
That was fun. That was a good action kind of popcorn alien movie. Different than your standard kind of action alien movie, but it was still, I enjoyed that one too.
Yeah, great little alien in that one.
Yes. And Ryan Gosling basically acting by himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's very good at that. And I thought He-Man, Jesus Christ, stop calling me. I told you on podcast. He-Man.
Damn it, Josh.
I listened to the podcast when you guys were doing it. I'm just like, Sean, I know you don't want to talk about this, but you can have nostalgia for a bullshit project. Everything you said was true, but I still had nostalgia for it.
So you loved Ram Man?
Yes. I love Fisto. I love that next one. I can't remember his name. But just the delivery of Ram Man. What? What do you call me? It was so perfectly stupid. And I don't know, it didn't take itself serious at all. My favorite part, I think Jeff and I were talking about this before you got here, was the end, the hands on their hips, overly laughing. Like I just started laughing so hard, and my brother was like, "What are you?" I'm like, "Why somebody laughing?" And then it clicked on him. I don't know, it was just so stupid but fun at the same time. I thought Evelyn and Skeletor were just like the cartoon. My brother actually didn't like them. He liked was it Meg Foster and Frank Langella better. But I thought They were better. They're more like the cartoon in this.
Yeah.
It was. I hope they keep going.
I think it's easier to take when you can't see Jared Leto's face.
Oh yeah.
He was fine, but like, why him?
It's
Literally,
a great question.
It could have been Tom Kenny from SpongeBob. It could have been anybody.
It could have been any one of us if we could do the voice. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't matter who.
They should have got Isaac Wells. He's going to be at the show this weekend, and he does the Skeletor videos. Until we meet again, that would have been great. Like, I see you, He-Man. Just like the cartoon version. That would have been fine. It could just put John Cena in the outfit, and he
doesn't matter.
Dave Bautista, anybody who's like muscular or whatever, and it would have been funnier with Dave Bautista because, if he doesn't talk, you don't see him.
Right.
So
it's just, I don't know what Jared Leto has on someone to continue to get work after Morbius, and after really everything that he's done. He has a cult, for fuck's sake.
I mean, stick with music. They're bad at that too, but
you know what? Go live on an island with your fans if that's what you want to do. Just stop ruining movies. He's bad luck.
Get him and Andrew Keegan and Ezra Miller.
Oh God,
they can all go lead the cult together. I can't believe Andrew Keegan, from whatever
10 Things I Hate About You,
has a cult.
He was the douchey model guy who tried to rape the main character.
Yes,
and her sister.
I remember him from the Broken Hearts Club, the movie about the gay softball team that are all friends and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that too, and I'm just like, he has a cult. He's not that good looking, although anybody can have a cult these days,
seemingly.
So,
I mean, look at MAGA.
I was gonna say, look at me.
Sorry,
I have a cult.
No, I'm not sorry. Fuck MAGA.
I'm a one-person cult.
Yeah. I see. I would never join a club that would have me as a member.
You see what I have to deal with every fucking week, Bob?
I listen. I know.
You actually listen to this shit?
Here and there.
He's actually interested in one of the movies.
I listen to the commercials.
I will, especially when you guys did the Obsession show, because you wanted to talk to someone so bad, and I couldn't get to it, and I was like, I just got to hear this. And then all of a sudden, when Sean wasn't responding, I'm like, oh, Sean didn't like this. And so, but then when I heard the episode, it made more sense. I mean, you just never really said anything in the chat, which either means you and him were talking already, or I jumped to conclusions.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for you. So keep that stuff out of the group chat.
No, I appreciate that, but I also forget a lot of things. I know that's that one is kind of at the top of my list because, to your point on that episode, I don't mind being miserable after seeing. Like, for some reason, there is a level of I don't know, just a different approach at horror or whatever. If you want to call it that, because that's what it sounds like it is in a different way.
Yeah.
That interests me, and I don't mind the ones that make you feel.
It's definitely a horror movie, like in every sense of the word. So,
right.
You know, the thing that people said about Roger Ebert going soft in his older age, he didn't. He just saw so much shit throughout his life. And I'm getting to that. I'm 50 now, and I'm feeling that. I don't want to feel bad. Unless it's like The Substance, because that one made me feel horrible. But like, it's got to be a real. That's a good movie, Obsession. It's just not one that I came away from just able to deal with the misery of it.
Right. No, I can totally understand.
And we've got a movie coming that in the next show that came out this weekend that is the same thing. It's just unending misery throughout. And I'm like, I used to be able to tolerate
Toy Story 5, right?
5, yeah.
I used to have a tolerance for this, and maybe if I still had that tolerance, I might appreciate this movie. But
I do think too, though, there's an element of, like, I remember we brought up The Mist during that show, and when I saw that, it was just like, this is balls to make a movie like this and
Mhm.
end it this way. And then it just kind of seemed like there was a string of kind of bummer endings, which all of a sudden it doesn't, when it comes out of nowhere, and we'll talk about The Ring too, when it's new and fresh, it really hits harder than all of a sudden it's just like, if you keep ending every movie like The Mist for the next 5 years, it doesn't have any, it doesn't have any punch.
I believe one of the great philosophers of our time said, life is a series of down endings.
Probably.
But but you're right. Like you notice it more when it's something like The Mist, where they're almost there. They are almost there, and you just know they're going to get away, and then they don't, and then they could have. It's like, how do you top that? You can't really top that.
Well, I remember, I don't know, it was an Adam Sandler movie, maybe it was Click or something like that. Like there was a spot where, if they took a left turn and made a choice that would upset the audience, it would have been a fucking awesome movie. But they went the safe route, and so many movies go the safe route. Then there was a run of, several years where there was a lot of dark endings, and it lost its punch. But I don't know. But it sounds like Obsession was kind of something new that we hadn't seen before, and
it's technically brilliant. I can't argue with that, and the acting is superb. I just felt empty.
I love empty.
I wanted the fog, like Midsummer. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, it's hard to, and I get what you're saying, but I also like that. I kind of like that I don't have to feel that all the time, because that makes Midsummer that much better. And I feel like if I kept, I don't know, I don't know that I can feel that fog for a while, because I'll just feel like it's a Midsummer light. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't necessarily feel the fog, but I feel the excitement of seeing something I haven't seen before. And that's how I was with Obsession. It was like, and The Substance to a little lesser degree, because it didn't affect me as much as it affected Sean. I mean, I wanted to see it again right away, and Sean was like, I'm never watching this movie again. But I'm also very invested in the technical stuff, especially with horror movies, because I will watch a horror movie 50, 60, 70 times and never get sick of it, like the Friday the 13th movies, obviously. But, it's like, I want to dissect it a little more. And there's been a couple times where I'm like, I wish we had 2 weeks between talking about these movies so I could see it again and get the, because I don't really get to the movies to enjoy movies. It's like, I mean, I enjoy them while I'm there, but I don't get to see anything for just pleasure.
It's turned into work.
Not even that, but it's like, I like seeing them, and I'm excited to see most of the movies out there, but it's like, how do I squeeze these movies into my schedule to see it? And then I turn around, like the next week, we got to do it all over again unless there's nothing. And then maybe I get to go see another movie.
Right.
Or see a movie again that I want to see. Like I wanted to see Obsession again in the theater. I still haven't. I mean, it'll still be in the theater by December, probably, the way it's going. But, it's like, it's one of those times where I'm like, you know what, if we skip a week and do the movies like we did a few weeks ago, then maybe I'll be able to go see it on a Tuesday afternoon or something. So.
Right. I mean, that's back when I was on it more regularly, it's a struggle to really have a movie podcast that, to find that audience, you almost got to beat the weekend with the new movies.
Yeah.
Or it feels like we're always like 3 to 4 days late. At one point we were doing Sundays and we felt 2 days late. Then it turned to Mondays. And then at one point I've been doing Wednesdays. What's the best way to do it to make it still fun, but also try to find a bigger audience? It was always a struggle for me to try to wrap my head around. It was just impossible, especially for me, you, or Josh, to get to these movies. Sean could sometimes knock them out on a Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, Sean's lucky. He's got to see them.
But, maybe there is something to it down the road as this podcast evolves, that you guys come up with a plan where it's twice a month, but you kind of work in what you actually want to talk about,
yeah,
good or bad, instead of the you've done a good job of avoiding the Adam Sandler movies since Netflix.
He moved to
That was-
Netflix is the best thing.
That was always something I was like, why do you go? I mean, I know you're responsible. I'm a critic. I have to, but it's like,
Some of them if they offer me money, I got to go see it.
right.
Lately, they're offering me less and less, and so who knows how much longer this lasts.
Well, and there's the thing, like we don't do Netflix movies, except we did like 2 weeks ago. We did Remarkably Bright Creatures, which is one of the best movies of the year.
Right.
It's right now in my top 5 because it's so affecting and the acting is so good in it. But you can watch that at home, you can, and it almost makes me wish that there were day and date for some of these movies because we could get we could do that, like watch 2 or 3 movies a night and record right away. So
funny thing, they did that with Power Ballad and we didn't even know it.
Yeah, right.
I will say though that especially when COVID, when it was just the two of us, like I have a harder time. Like I enjoy them in the theater more. I feel like I can give myself up to the movie more often.
Same.
And I really struggle, especially some of these more slower art movies that were coming out at that time. I was just having a hard time really putting my phone away, just staying focused on the movie. So I don't know. I'm just not watching movies right now, and it drives me nuts.
Somebody asked me why do you like to go to the theater? Because we were talking about, I have a coworker at my day job she's always wants to know, and she's like in her late 60s, and she's loves to see new movies. She wanted to see Obsession because she heard me talking about it, and she saw it. She's like, that was the best fucking movie I've seen in years. I'm just like, oh, okay. Awesome. I'm glad that, this grandma is watching Obsession, but it's like but she asked me, she goes, why do you like to see them in the theater so much? And I said, because it is literally the only time when I can concentrate on the movie. I only ever find myself pulling my phone out in a movie when I'm really bored with it, or I'm, getting a text or something that I'm kind of paying attention to that text because I need to hear. But yeah, I mean, it's the only time I can go and sit. Like, we're going to talk about The Ring, and I haven't watched The Ring in many, many years. And I started to watch it, and then it was like a slow part, and I checked my phone, and I'm like, I just bought this movie. Like, I bought it for my collection, and I want to, sit and watch it, but it's so difficult to not get distracted.
Well, yeah. And for me with The Ring, I've seen it since the theater, obviously, and for the show, but it goes back to that first viewing. It was even watching it again, I can go back to seeing it in the theater, and that experience of it that still makes me appreciate the movie. I want to defend it because it's like, the Deftones or Korn. They came out, and then new metal turns into Limp Bizkit and all these other bands.
Yeah.
And I still feel like, well, but Deftones were pretty good. And that's kind of how I feel with The Ring. It's like that whole genre of horror movies, the PG-13 girl with the long hair showed up in everything that shows up in stuff. But when it came out in The Ring, I thought it was pretty fresh. But anyway.
Yeah, well, then the Grudge, like, immediately, and it's like, it feels like the same movie, but worse.
Well, I mean, they were doing all the Japanese horror movies at the time, and that just remaking everything. So those were very popular in Japan, and that was the look, the scary look in Japan in the early 2000s. And it's like, of course they're going to just remake it almost like shot for shot.
Right.
So.
Yeah, no, when it came out, my brother got into the Japanese movies, so we watched Ringu and then Ju-On, and then I loved that, but I actually didn't like The Grudge that much and never really liked it. And then there was like the 15 Grudge movies and the 15 Ring movies that came after that and everything else. I don't know. I don't know. It's just like you said, it's when it's fresh and new, it has more of an impact. After that, it just turns into a cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of The Ring, of course, part of the reason why we wanted to do this is because when we talked about it on the show, you and I went back and forth on that one. Me talking about how I didn't like it and you defending it, and I was wrong and you were right.
I appreciate that. And I remember having those conversations, but it wasn't like they were long. It was like we'd talk about it briefly, then we'd move on for 2 years, and then it might pop up again. And it definitely was a always there, but it was never like that contentious of an argument either. It was just like, I liked it, I didn't, and here's, we talked about it a little bit and we move on. So it was kind of cool to actually, I don't think we ever actually truly talked about the movie as a classic or anything like that. At that, maybe we did.
It's possible.
700 episodes.
It definitely came up multiple times.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Boy, and
one of the sequels was on the show.
Okay, that's right, with the rings or something like that.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Never seen that one.
Nope.
I liked The Ring. I don't remember The Ring 2 at all. Like, I don't know if I even saw it, but I liked The Ring. I liked The Grudge, but I was also on a Sarah Michelle Gellar high for, the 90s and the 2000s. But I don't remember ever seeing The Ring 2 because I remember thinking it's not necessary. A lot of sequels are not necessary. Most sequels are unnecessary, but I don't remember if I saw it. I definitely didn't see Rings because I was just like, oh, that's like an old movie. And, are they just remaking it? Probably.
One of the reasons they made The Ring 2 is because they got the original director of Ringu to come over and direct Ring 2. Right. They wanted to be in business with him, and he was willing to direct their sequel for some reason.
Okay.
Well, it was guaranteed success.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Ring movies made money.
Yeah.
Even the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, they've done really well despite having like a massive budget. I had no idea. It was something like $40 million for the original Ring.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody thinks it's like a low budget movie. No, it was like $40 million to make that movie.
Was that like Naomi Watts? Was she that big?
No.
That's kind of her breakout in America, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That and Mulholland Drive. And
yeah.
Mulholland was before, but yeah. That was her first.
Her big
starring
after Mulholland. But I don't know. To me, the breakout was obviously the girl that passed
Samara,
away. That character, her as an actor didn't really break out.
Yeah,
that scary looking girl became like the new, like the scary movies made fun of it. I mean, it was the new it.
Yeah,
it was a cultural phenomenon, and that's right why we're talking about it because the actress Daveigh Chase passed away recently, and wanted to just pay a little tribute because on this show the ring is held holy. Now that I like it.
Now that Sean likes it, it's fine to talk about it.
When did you come back? I guess talk about your journey to realizing you liked it.
So you and I were having a conversation online. I think the ring came up and I was remembering my opinion about it, and I'm like, damn it, I'm going to read my review and remember what I fucking said about this. I read my review and wait a minute. Did I like this movie? And I did. I really, really did. Like 7 out of 10 stars on Vicket.com.
Damn.
Yeah, I liked it a lot apparently, and then I forgot that I liked it.
You're like Roger Ebert at Last House on the Left.
But he came around on it.
I gave it 5 stars. I don't remember why. And I think that was a Chaos, some weird remake that wasn't licensed. He gave 0 stars, and they remade Last House Left. Like, I don't know. We'll split the difference. 3 stars. It was the most uninterested review I've ever read in my life.
Those are fun to write sometimes, though.
Yeah, if you can come up with a nice through line, that's what he did.
I did. After I read my review, I watched it again. I'm like, okay, this actually is pretty impressive. And I watched it one more time when we had Gore Verbinski just came out with a movie with Sam Rockwell, and it was really great. That's a terrific movie that I can't remember the name of now.
Have fun. Be safe, don't die, or
something like that.
Yeah.
It's an anti-AI movie, and it's very, very funny and
great.
I'm a big fan of his now.
Gore Verbinski or Sam
Gore Verbinski. Well, yeah, I've always been a Sam Rockwell guy, but
he could make a bad movie fun. He probably has made bad movies.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2. I'm going to defend Iron Man 2. I like that movie. Maybe it's just because I was immersed in it because I worked at Best Buy. When that came out on Blu-ray, I worked at Best Buy in the Magnolia department, and we played that movie. We were only supposed to play one scene, right? I must have watched that fucking movie 6 or 7 times a week, all the way through, because it was just like, we would do this. We would set up the scene to watch, like with the sound and everything, and then I'm just like, you know what? It's dead. I'm just gonna watch Iron Man 2.
We were podcasting
Yeah,
when that came
yeah,
out.
I like that. We were positive about all the Iron Man movies, I think.
I think we were one of the few positive about 3. We were so in love with whoever did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Shane Black.
Shane Black.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shane Black, yeah.
Give us a director, we'll just go all for him.
Into the ground.
Except that I already asked her after Eddington. Fuck no, I'm kidding.
We're gonna be in 10 years. The apology at so it's gonna come out. I think I should watch it now. It's not surprisingly, it's sadly relevant even more than it was.
Yeah.
I not to go off the ring, but I'll actually take that one over the PTA movie. I like the PTA movie, the one that won the Oscar. I think anything was better.
Yeah.
Anyway, ring.
Yeah. So the idea is it's a very catchy idea. It's like a great pop song. You watch the video, 7 days later, you're gonna die. Unless you can, then of course they have to figure it out. The journey is then figuring out how to survive it once the mom and her son watch it. And that's the whole journey, is trying to figure out where this tape came from and how can you possibly survive it. And was it the ending that did it for you? Like the bleakness of, like, they just have to keep making copies of this fucking tape so they can live?
There was that. The first death was like, whoa, like the way they shot it and the way it kind of jump scared. I don't even really know what I saw. I just know that was creepy looking. So that automatically I was invested in. For whatever reason, and like when she walks out of the TV, that's one of those moments where you're either lost and you're like, this is fucking dumb, or you're like, holy shit, this is no longer, you're protected by it. So I was more on the holy shit, this is what's going to happen next. And then, yes, the bleakness of it. And then as I get older, as a parent being like, always the one that's like, all right, Bloody Mary is not real. Let's go do it. I'll watch the tape. I could see myself definitely, this is not real. It's, my wife has sleep paralysis. I've seen her do weird shit. Like literally was like not levitating, but like she can't talk. And she's literally saying, you go to hell, you go to hell. It's 2 a.m, 3 a.m. I think it's hilarious. Like it's not scaring me at all. She's going to inherit this doll when her grandma passes that they call Muffin, that's been in the family, and they say it's haunted. I'm like, this will be great. I love creepy looking things. So it's not, I don't know even where I was going, where I started with this, but it I don't know. Just from that aspect of watching it again, with the mom and then the guy coming in and watching it, I could definitely put myself in that position. And then if it ends up being real, I probably would just die. But I enjoyed the fact that they had to find a way out of it, and they didn't write themselves into the corner with a cheesy ending. I liked where they went with it, and
it's a much more natural or organic way to end a movie and still open it up for a sequel, because it doesn't feel like they were forced into that situation by a studio going, we're going to need sequels to this.
Yeah.
Right. Well, especially with it being a remake of its own, of the Japanese version. But yeah, no, I don't know. It really hit me at the moment, and I definitely was trying to show people. I do think seeing the theater helped me, though. If I'd watched it on video, I could have easily seen myself falling out of the movie when she walked out of the TV, because maybe I didn't have a phone back then, but maybe I needed a bag of chips or something. I don't know, just anything that could have easily pulled me out in that moment. But seeing it in the theater definitely kept me invested.
And Verbinski is just such a controlled director. He's got such a great eye and ear for pacing, and he paces the movie just about perfectly. From the time that she crawls out of the TV to introducing the new characters who are going to take us through the rest of the story, to introducing Martin Henderson into the story, like it all just kind of flows perfectly.
Right. And the artistic choices of the look has turned into kind of like the Hereditary score, where now you hear it in every horror movie.
Yeah.
It was so cool that they ran into the ground. Not they, but studios.
Watching it last night, I just kept thinking, wow, this is like the birth of this color timing for every movie for the next 5 years was blue, green, like blue, green, or, like one of the two. And it's just because it was such a kind of groundbreaking movie and such a revelation for people to have seen something like this. It was, let's do it. Let's copy it down to the very color timing and the green of the film.
And your villain has to be female, pale, and wet.
Right. Long black hair covering her face.
Yeah.
But with that, back to the band analogy is it gets lumped in with everyone that came after it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not fair to this. Just because it went downhill from here, it still was at the top of the hill at one point.
When we talked about it, it was like 10 years, over 10 years after it came out. And I think I probably was thinking of The Grudge. Like, I hate The Grudge.
Well, at that point, there was The Grudge 2, and not to mention the scary movies that made fun of it. It had been, like, they're still using that look here and there.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There's a girl at work I call her Ring Girl, because she's always like angrily looking at people and her hair is down. I'm just like, hey, Ring Girl, what's up? I don't know what you're talking about, but stop calling me that.
Fine, Samara.
Yeah. Not Samara Weaving.
No.
I remember when my brother was making his movie, we all like shitty makeup trying to be zombies, and all of a sudden we turn around and look at my friend who they somehow made it. They never used it because he didn't want to. It was cool in the moment, but obviously you don't want to leave that in your movie because we're zombies, not ring girls. But, I don't know. I just always thought that was cool until it wasn't.
I think it really kind of jumped the shark for me. That look was in Cabin in the Woods. Oh, this is a trope. This is, it is the Japanese horror movie trope.
Right.
Long white dress, long black hair. Yeah, it was.
I think it was. It was a lot earlier for me because I think it was 2005. They released Dark Water with Jennifer Connelly. I'm over this. I'm over this dreary look and these tiny female villains. Like, just get over it.
Every year prior and after that, you probably could have picked one movie that's like that. It was just like it was a need for something new. Horror movies also weren't. Scream had its brought it back for a little bit, and then it kind of died down, and then I don't remember what was next. Maybe it was this, but it just got so bad. And it also was the launch of the PG-13 horror movie, which I wasn't a fan of, other than The Ring. And I mean, I think it was there. Was this the launch of the PG-13 horror movie?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just went. When stuff starts feeling like a cash grab, I don't care how old you are, that changes your motivation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at what came after this. So there was The Grudge, which, while not like, it wasn't, to me, it was not terrible. It wasn't the heights of The Ring, but then you get like One Missed Call, which is like basically just ripping off the fucking Ring. Pulse, anything that, like, even Quarantine, which is a completely different kind of movie, but the look of it and the video cover of it with that green, gray, grainy, almost TV looking verite kind of thing. And it's just like, how long are we going to do this? And they did that for probably 10 years. Every video like that came out, every DVD or Blu-ray came out with that shitty artwork based on the look of The Ring.
Right.
So,
and I did like I said, the original foreign versions. Like, I actually liked Wreck over Quarantine. The Quarantine, I was just shot for shot, the same thing, I guess. But for some reason, I don't know. I thought that I actually liked in the third Wreck, I believe because it's all found footage.
Yeah. I
feel like in the first 5 minutes, the guy's like, fuck this, and drops the camera and it turns into a real movie.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, that's all I remember from the movie, but I thought that was genius. But you're right. It definitely had the look and feel, even though it was a zombie movie. They moved around like the girl from The Ring, everything. Even like when The Exorcist came back out, it felt like when she was walking down the stairs,
Oh, yeah.
it was like based off The Ring Girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though that was in
Right now.
Yeah.
But
it's like, that now we can do this because it's popular and
right.
Yeah.
Still scary as fuck when I saw it again. But
But of course, William Friedkin takes credit for it because he took credit for everything.
It's okay. I love listening to him talk about himself.
Because it's June and, I watched Cruising again because I'm working on something for that. And I was like, do I dare watch that with the commentary? And I started to, and I'm like, no. No, I can narrate the movie just fine, Bill. But so I actually watched it there was an interview that somebody did of him while the movie's going on, and it was much better. But I'm like, oh, he just has the worst commentaries. And I try to explain that to everybody. I'm like, watch this movie. Don't watch the commentary track with just him because he just narrates the movie, and you can do that yourself.
I do think he's a good interview, though.
I
think he can tell a good story. But if you have someone directed him, well, obviously he's gone now. But
are we sure? He could still be lurking somewhere, doing the commentary to other people's movies.
That's his hell.
Right?
Just sitting in front of the computer doing a commentary over and over again.
So this is heaven? I love this.
Why am I doing that commentary to Gremlins?
Everyone else's hell is listening to him do it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that starts popping up on Netflix. William Friedkin.
We could do
That's
an AI. William Friedkin watches William Friedkin at the movies, and he just narrates the movie.
Turner and Hooch.
Oh yeah, we could AI him into like, I don't know, that or Sleepless in Seattle. Romantic comedies. William Friedkin's romantic comedies.
William Friedkin narrates The Fish Who Saved Pittsburgh.
Death Comes to Frogtown.
Speaking of directions, of course, like I said, I was praising Verbinski before, and he's got just this very natural style that's entirely his. And when you try and do somebody else's style, it's never going to look right. And everybody trying to do what he did, it almost made him feel generic by them repeatedly ripping him off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and when he was doing a remake, I don't feel like he tried to make that movie. I feel like he made his own movie. And that is what's missing from everything that came after that. You're right. You have the artist who kind of kicks things off, and that's a good point.
And one of the great things that he does is he actually allows this movie to exist in daylight. Sometimes, there's plenty of darkness in the movie, but there's a couple of really great outdoor scenes, including the deer scene is fantastic.
Yes.
But it's Seattle, so it's practically night.
But I think to your point, though, being able to go back and forth like that makes the darker scenes more relevant.
Yeah, I can't. There's so many movies today that's just darkness and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, it's easier.
Yeah, you can hide everything. And then if you're Skinamarink, you can pretend you're a movie.
Oh my god! Fucking Skinamarink.
We did see that.
We're never getting over that one.
No.
I don't. Maybe that could have worked in a theater. Maybe,
but like I said when we watched The Back Rooms, it was like Skinamarink with a plot.
Part of our mistake too is watching it. Jeff and I watched it together on TV. It's like that movie didn't stand a chance.
Sat in this room here trying to watch that movie, and by 20 minutes in, we were both on our phones. And that's like not, when we watch a movie together, it's we try to like really be invested in it, and nope.
Oh, when we do it, we've had the gamut from, oh my god, this is way worse than we thought, to holy shit, this might be the top 5 movie of all time. Texas Chainsaw
Oceans.
Crash. Oceans. Yeah. That was fucking awesome. But that Forrest Gump, though, that was one that I was neither here nor there on it, but then we watched it as a group and it was just like, oh my God, how are people falling for this? But then I watched it with my wife and son after that, and I still don't like it, but it wasn't as bad as that experience. And I'm like, why? Like, what's happening? Are we just all rubbing off on each other? And that's why it sucks so bad. Or does it really? I don't know.
We tend to watch movies more of a critical eye, even if like we're going to enjoy them,
Right.
because we have been doing this for so long that it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to judge this movie as I'm watching it as opposed to just get immersed in it. And, I found myself not enjoying some movies I thought I would enjoy a little more because I look at them with a more critical
Right.
eye.
We have a funny thing because it seems to happen to us regularly now, thanks to the 96 podcast and watching movies with MJ, who's 21 years old now. And they got such a different perspective. Like they went into Mrs. Doubtfire with no respect for Robin Williams and no idea really who he was. and kind of watching that movie through their eyes, Amy and I started picking up, that is kind of shitty, actually. This is not fun. And now we talk about hating Mrs. Doubtfire every week.
Being an adult is understanding that Robin Williams is not the good guy in that movie, but it can still be fun. I still enjoy it, even though I'm aware, after listening to you guys talk about it, I'm like, oh my God. So I watched it again. I'm like, I see, yes, I can see that he is not the hero,
Right.
but it's funny and he's funny and Harvey Firestein is funny. Oh, honey, I'm so happy.
That's the thing too, though. It's like when we're all watching stuff together, it's like I'm not worried about ruining your experience. I don't think I will. And if anything, I think the camaraderie kind of enhances it, negative or positive. When you're watching with other people, you're not out there to try to ruin their experience most of the time.
Well, yeah.
Unless it's drama.
Right.
But you did great on that one, and just letting that wash over me.
But I think that played into Forrest Gump not appearing as bad as it was when you and Josh watched it that one time.
It's fucking miserable.
It's just so insulting to special people. It's just like,
it's insufferable. It's insufferable.
Yeah.
Lazy writing. I mean, obviously Tom Hanks made it as good as he could, but everything about it's lazy.
The fact that he went from, like, he won the Oscar for that and Philadelphia, it's mind-boggling to me. And I think it was because he won the Oscar for Forrest Gump because it was nostalgia and all the old people in the Academy, like, oh, I remember when that happened. I remember. Yeah, that's why he won that Oscar. It has nothing to do with the performance, because the performance was like kind of borderline offensive. At this point.
The only reason we say it's not offensive is because it's Tom Hanks, and we all love Tom Hanks.
Well, it's when you watch Tropic Thunder and the way they, because they're right. It's the way he went about it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even, but it was just, he was trying to make it its own character, not necessarily disability, even though clearly it was more insulting on the person who wrote it.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's the difference between Leonardo DiCaprio in What's Eating Gilbert Grape versus Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump. And it's trying to make that a personality quirk instead of a profound disability.
Right.
That is like, yikes. That gif of, from Schitt's Creek where she's like, yikes. That's how I respond to Forrest Gump at this point.
Well, that the old people of the Academy, if they went back and redid it all, it still wouldn't be Pulp Fiction. It'd be Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah,
which drives me nuts.
There are years when it's like, why can't we have a tie? Because of that, because of Shawshank and Pulp Fiction, two movies which I think are both excellent on their own and both deserve it. But then you get Forrest Gump, and it's like, oh, I love Forrest Gump because I remember all this stuff that happened.
But still, when I look back at the year, they talk about the three of them, and like there are these three masterpieces. And to me, they're three wildly different. Like Pulp Fiction's still, one
Oh, that's
best
that. Yeah, that's
of all time. Shawshank's a very run of the mill great movie, and Forrest Gump's this weird fad that somehow people.
It was the special effects, honestly, because everything you watched up to that, they would do, this is how we did this and this is how we did that. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then I saw the movie. I'm like, wow, they really did it. And then watching it as an adult, I'm like, this movie is fucking offensive. And fuck you, Tom Hanks, and fuck you, Robert Zemeckis, and fuck you, Robin Wright.
Well, and Tom Hanks brings people that don't watch movies to the movies. Yeah. And Shawshank was on TV so much that everybody saw it there. It's just almost not real moviegoers that like those movies. Again, Shawshank's great in its lane, I think.
Yeah.
But Pulp Fiction is troubling as Tarantino can be lately. I should have stopped talking. I think I said this last time I was here, but when he ranked his top 20 movies of the last 20 years and Double Rejects was on, I was like ready to come into the next time I was on the show. Be like, see, this is, and then Paul Dano sucks. I'm like, okay. Just kind of.
Still the weirdest fucking battle to pick.
Yeah, that is a straight.
That Paul Dano, he is repulsive to me physically, but he's such a good actor that I watch that the GameStop movie, amazing performance. Like he's so good in that. I was like, what? What's he going to do now? And he's just so good that it doesn't matter that I kind of like my dick goes up inside my body when he comes on screen.
But that happens sometimes there's just effective actors and actresses that do that to you, and that's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently Tarantino doesn't like when that happens.
Tarantino needs to shut the fuck up.
And make movies.
Paul Dano didn't worship him at a party, and it's like, that guy sucks.
Probably.
Hey, I honestly, I don't think he's that. I think he's just a weird guy because he likes quote unquote shitty movies. So it's part of why people bashed Death Proof. Like, why is he making a node to shitty movies?
Because he actually took one and made it a really good
right.
one.
Yeah. But what he likes and like what he does, I don't know. He's just, his opinion shouldn't necessarily matter. I say that
I'd honestly rather listen to Ty West's opinions on movies anymore because he's got some really interesting ones than anything that Quentin Tarantino has said in the last 15 years.
I'd even be more interested in Edgar Wright because at least he's positive about what he like. You don't see him out there shitting on what he doesn't like. But yeah, I don't get it at all.
What did Tarantino think of The Ring?
He stopped watching Toy Story after Toy Story 3. It ended so perfectly, he doesn't need to see the rest.
He's not wrong on that. I will say that.
I should have killed the characters off at the end of 3, though.
Oh, my God.
How awesome would that have been? I told my sister that they all end up going into the fire at the end. And they made you feel like maybe that was going to happen.
That's your canon ending now. You should edit the movie at your house and it just ends there.
But they didn't. Yeah, they didn't ruin the movie. I think Toy Story 3 is my favorite of the 3, all of them. But yeah, that would have been great.
I gotta say that I was just horrified the other day online. Somebody published a photo of the last days of this young actress from The Ring, Daveigh
Chase.
Daveigh Chase. They published a photo of her on the day she passed away, and it was just disturbing. Why would you do that to somebody? Like, she's suffering from a very difficult illness, and obviously she's emaciated. And it was like, you don't need to share that. You don't need to put that out into the world.
Well, it's the same. Like when Michael Jackson died. They had whoever got the photo of him on the stretcher was the star for the 15 minutes. And why? We didn't need to see that. we all knew that, well, what he looked like, and you don't look that much different. But it's like, why do this to her family?
Yeah, no, that's a shame. I didn't know that would happen, but that's the human mind. Sometimes you get in a scenario where like, well, this will be important or cool or whatever the thought is, and then hopefully this person regrets it.
Hopefully.
I doubt it.
Probably not. Those people are.
I mean, I know
ghouls.
I've done things that I kind of like. I wish I wouldn't have said that or done it this way, but I'm also not taking pictures of people on their deathbed and whatever else.
Yeah.
Do not look it up. I urge you. I was just on a thread on Twitter looking at things, and there it was, and it's like, that is not something anyone needed to see, and certainly not something anyone should have posted anywhere.
Right.
And you'll not. It's not. It's just unpleasant. It's just really very sad.
Well, I'm pretty much all the way off Twitter and X now, largely because of stuff like that. I just don't. I just know it hasn't been fun for a long time, obviously. But I even found myself being like, being a troll can be fun, but then there's also a point where it's just like not fun too, depending on what you're trolling and how you're trolling it.
It's really only good for porn now.
X's, Twitter, or whatever.
Yeah. Or, if you're into like creating grok images of children.
No.
Yeah. That's a big thing over there now, apparently. I was like, sorry, what? Yeah, grok is being used for sexual assault images of children. Or celebrities, like people are using it to, make porn with people. I'm saying Jennifer Lawrence because I remember, what they did to her before, but that's what they're using grok for.
Elon did say bring back sexual assault.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Oh, no, he's bringing back comedy.
Tomatoes.
Same thing to him.
I'm on X because I do a lot of promoting of my writing there, but also because I'm now friends with Matthew Modine. So, he just mentioned me in a tweet once.
Oh, awesome.
One time, but I won a contest.
Nice. I used to when I was heavy into Twitter, when it was good, Paul Feig followed me, Ashton Kutcher followed me, which now I guess is bad. I had Perez Hilton, unfortunately, followed me for like 5 minutes, and then I said, why the fuck is that blank, blank, blankety blank following me? I fucking hate him. Eat a dick. And then I put a picture of him, how he drew on everybody's picture. I drew one with a dick, and he blocked me, so.
Nice.
Cool. No, I mean, I had a bunch of people that followed me too, but at a certain point, it was like, I remember just saying stuff in general, and all of a sudden, like, Mark Maron's responding. I'm like, wait a second, how can he even see this?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't write anything bad, or just other comedians or people at rock stars that I knew that you forget how small Twitter was, even though it got reported on as news all the time.
Yeah.
There were still only like 20 million people on it compared to whatever Facebook had,
right?
Which was thousands times more.
Mm-hmm.
So it would all of a sudden was like, especially when we were doing reviews and stuff, and if it wasn't positive, like I would definitely start to be like, this person could actually is probably seeing this. And I know we've had people read them, the positive ones, and share them and whatnot. And that just kind of messed with me a little bit.
Well, I mean, if you're being critical of something, then there's a reason, usually. Most people are thick-skinned enough to take if it's not a personal attack, to take a criticism and just be like, okay, whatever. I've had plenty of that with my artwork before. People, I hate your artwork. Okay, that's cool. Well, don't buy it. I just sold $75 worth of prints to somebody on Etsy today, so your opinion means less than nothing. But there are some people who really take that stuff to heart, and I feel the same way. I'm like, oh, if I said something bad about so-and-so or this movie or whatever, and I met them at a con, would I,
Right.
Yeah. I was going to say, because my friend John, who played Grandpa in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he said that he actually has turned down work because people affiliated with whatever have been critical of his friends' work, whatever. And I'm just like, oh, I guess, yeah, I guess you can take that really personally, but
Well, and there was just, I mean, I would joke around on Twitter a lot too. And whether you hashtag or at somebody, not even, I don't know. I can't think of anything specific. The criticism wouldn't bother me as much, but I do know that when I was doing music, my whole, like, I like what I like. If you're going to go send me some reggae band that I don't really care about, I'm not going to be able to constructively review that.
right.
I can't say it's bad because I don't like reggae. I have to try to review it and be like, oh, here's why. If you like this, you might like that. So I was always trying to take that approach until we started doing the podcast. Then when you're just talking, you just start saying stuff. And again, none of that bothered me that much. It's just more of the interacting and the joking around and whatever that at times would be like. There was one time we were at my house watching the Oscars. We were, and you might have even been there for that. Maybe you were, maybe not. But we were all like just hashtagging this and talking about stuff. And by the end of it, I was just like, we were just ripping on someone's plastic surgery, and we were like ripping on this and that. It just felt dirty. And then from that moment on, I just know me personally. I don't remember what anybody else said. I was just, I don't want to. This isn't as fun as I remember it being. That was a while ago, though.
I always like, I find myself understanding access journalism a little bit when we do say something bad about somebody, because you get the people who will just kiss anybody's ass just to be in the proximity of somebody famous. And I'm somebody who goes to enough conventions and sells my art enough, and I've gotten to know enough of the quote unquote famous people from 80s horror and 90s whatever, that I know that they can really take it. You know, they know they're in these shitty 80s horror movies and that they have, this horrible, bad acting. My friend Lauren, she's like, oh, sometimes I look at those and I'm just like, I can't believe I said that line at all, much less the way I said it. And then I'm like, you know what? That was kind of fun. And she remembers the experience. And so somebody shitting on that, she can see it. She can say, oh, okay, well, this is not, bad, or it's just the way somebody feels. And art is subjective, and most artists know that. So
Right.
I learned a valuable lesson very early in my career because I made a review of the movie Narc, and then I got just the nicest, coolest message ever from director Joe Carnahan. I'm like, I love this man forever. I can't watch his movies anymore. I'm not going to be able to say, how am I going to say anything negative about this guy? He's wonderful.
yeah,
I do remember early on you not wanting to interview people, and because or if you did, you wanted to do it after you saw the movie or something like that.
I have to like the movie to talk to somebody because I can't pretend. I can't do it.
So my friend Rebecca, her and her husband and a couple other people do this true crime review podcast where they talk about either podcasts or movies or documentaries or whatever, and they give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. And Rebecca also, she used to host a Netflix podcast before they took everything video. And she would say on their podcast, she would say, I have interviewed this director of this project and this will not affect my review whatsoever. She has reached out to directors and say, hey, I didn't like your show and we're going to talk about my show, but I don't want that to affect how I feel about you or how you feel about me. And it's just the art is subjective. And she said there's only one person who ever yelled at her because of her review. And that was Earl Morris. And or Errol Morris, however, but then the next time was super sweet, he just got mad at her because of something. And then there was one other, I can't remember who it was, but just went after her to the Netflix people about her review on her own podcast. And I'm not going to talk to her anymore. But, and they're like, okay, we'll get somebody else to do it. And then he was like, well, no, I want Rebecca to do it. So it's like, people are mercurial and sometimes you're going to catch them on a bad day and that's going to happen. But I don't see anything, I want to line up some interviews for the show like we did with Lynn Griffin. But I'm always, oh God, what if they say no? Well, that's I guess that's the most they could do is say no.
Mhm.
But yeah, but then I'm like, well, what if I say something critical about one of their projects or whatever? Are they going to go back and listen to all of our shows to see if well, no, there's 700 episodes. They're not going to.
Well, the best part, I mean, there are definitely times where, like, we mentioned Forrest Gump, where you almost get mad. And sometimes it's more fun, like when I would get mad at Christopher Nolan, the one guy everybody loves. Or, everybody had their guy that they didn't like for whatever reason when everybody else liked him. That was one thing. But when it was something uninspired, it wasn't even critical. It was just, you could tell we're losing interest. And it was just like, how do we get through this part of the show to the next one?
Mhm.
So, and that's most of the bad reviews were uninspired.
You do what Sean did with Masters Universe. You just stop talking about it and move on to something else.
Just trying to talk, and Sean's like, who cares?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Like a movie that I'm finally excited about that I don't know anything about, and Sean's like, I fucking hated it.
I'm like in my car yelling, it's She-Ra, not Tila. And Sean's back there going, who gives a shit?
Now you know how Star Wars fans feel.
He's not wrong.
I don't know how they feel anymore. I feel like
Neither do they.
Like MAGA, they've broken a bunch of different sections.
Trust me, Star Wars fans don't even know how they feel anymore because they hated The Mandalorian and Grogu because it was a TV movie. I'm always going to go on record and say Star Wars is still Star Wars to me, no matter if it's good or bad. I didn't like the Clone Wars all that much. It was not a great show to me. I don't love all the stuff that Dave Filoni is doing with Star Wars, but am I going to watch it? Of course I'm going to watch it. Of course I went and saw The Mandalorian and Grogu twice in the theater because I wanted to see it. I wanted to experience it and, support Star Wars. But yeah, they don't know how they feel because they like now the Acolyte. Did you ever watch? Are you familiar with that at all? It's kind of a Rashomon kind of story, but it takes place before the Skywalkers. So you get what happened from different perspectives, and people shit on it and they review bombed it because Leslie Headland, who created it, was Harvey Weinstein's assistant. And so they were like, oh, the tolerant left and all that, and there was lesbian space wishes in it. That's what they really hated.
They had a trans person in the cast. It was,
yes. Just all this bullshit. And now people who I documented saying shitty things about it are coming around and they're saying, well, you know what? The Acolyte was actually pretty good. You didn't even watch it the first time. You just shit on it. That's how Star Wars fans are. So don't feel bad.
Oh, no, I at least made the effort to watch some of the Star Wars. I remember, because I like Last Jedi. Obviously, like Empire is still probably the best. But I just remember people I know that were Star Wars fans going, Last Jedi is for people who hate Star Wars. I was like, whatever. I thought it was fantastic. I really was that Rian Johnson, right?
Yeah.
I really like him as a director, and I thought the movie was great. I love what they did with it, and just was like, I don't get how you can hate this thing, but people found a way. Especially if you like the source material. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But and again, I get how people can like Force Awakens. Like, I like Rocky IV.
It's popcorn,
it's candy, yeah.
Popcorn and candy. It's nothing. There's nothing groundbreaking about the Force Awakens at all. There is profoundly something groundbreaking about The Last Jedi. Anybody can be a Jedi as long as you have the Force. You don't have to be a Skywalker to have the Force. And that's my criticism of Star Wars is it makes the universe so small that you have to be a Palpatine now, or you have to be a Skywalker, and it just revolves around two families. And it's like, this is not politics. It's not the Bushes versus the Clinton. It's like, yeah. So, but about the ring, no, we're just playing catch up.
So much to talk about. I mean, I figured the ring was a good way to have.
Oh no, this is just catch up. This is because we haven't been in a room together for months.
We're just randomly throw out names.
I'm actually like, so this weekend, and I know that you want to come to QC FrightCon. I'm going to try to get a couple interviews from this show, because there's going to be some really interesting people there. Like they're going to Ken Foree from
the Rob Zombie.
Yes, of course.
The guy in the overalls. Halloween?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's going to be there.
Rejects, yeah.
I've heard varying things, like he's the nicest guy, he's the biggest asshole, Same thing with like Tom Savini, he's not going to be there, but I've heard biggest asshole. When I tried to like get his autograph one time, my tits weren't big enough. Let me put it that way. But some people have had, the absolute best experience with him. So I'm hoping
when they had big tits.
Yeah. It was all women, but whatever. No, I'm looking forward because there's quite a few people that are going to be. Sean Whalen from The People Under the Stairs will be there. From Silent Night, Deadly Night, the mom at the beginning.
Wow.
So, who was also in Cannonball Run, which was one of my go-tos in the 80s on HBO. I must have watched that movie 500 fucking times a summer. So, yeah, Tara Buckman is her name. She's there. Christine Elise from Child's Play 2, 90210, among other things. So.
That's cool. My wife's out of town, so maybe I can actually do something on a weekend.
Yeah.
And it's something your son might like doing, right?
He's with her.
Oh.
So I'd be alone, but.
Well, you get into both conventions, so there's Planet FunCon on one side of the street and QC FrightCon on the other. Plus, I'll be there selling my artwork, so you can come and see me.
Send me reminders. I know Josh and I are planning to have lunch at some point. We were going back and forth via text, and then
tell him we miss him.
Well, let me finish the story.
Okay.
All of a sudden, I was like, "Oh shit! I was supposed to text Josh back 2 weeks ago." And I still haven't texted him back because he was in town and we were going to go. I mean, there was graduation parties.
Yeah,
and he understood, and we talked about He-Man since. But I'm hoping to. Part of me thought about see if I could surprise him this weekend in Macomb, be like, "Hey, I can come down to you if you." But if there's something going on here, I just need to do something.
Yeah, well, come and hang out at QC FrightCon. We'll be there. Sean's going to go, aren't you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Working it or just walking it? So we say in the spa industry when you go to a spa convention.
Working or walking?
I hate conventions that are that fun.
I can't imagine if a convention like that would be much fun.
Especially when you're supposed. I mean, it's not.
It's the after party, Sean.
That's the thing.
Those they're fun for a second, and then all of a sudden, all you gotta eat is bar food, and after a while, you just feel sick, and it's the worst. And a lot of times, it's Atlantic cities, and who wants to actually go there?
Yeah.
Everybody thinks the radio parties are going to be fun, and like I'm with a bunch of radio people down in New Orleans, and it just could not be more boring. I'd rather be watching a movie.
Yeah, all you want to do is get away, and you're kind of tied to people that you have. You only get away when you finally go to sleep at night.
Yeah. Did you see the episode of The Office where they did the convention, and they were all like from the different branches they were going, and it's basically a paper convention. How exciting is that? But Michael and Dwight wanted to have a party, so they decided to have a dance party in their hotel room.
I did see that one. I'll let you start describing it. It took me a while to remember that.
And then the tag on the episode was they had the black light going, and it was just stains on everything.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's awesome.
It was so funny. But every time I hear convention, even when I do a horror convention, that's why I never go to the hotel parties or anything. Usually what happens, like if you do Days of the Dead, after the show, you end up in the bar and you're getting bar food, and most of the actors are there and you get to schmooze with them. I sat with the Friday the 13th Part 2 cast my first year. It was just like, oh, you guys are super nice, just, oh yeah. A couple of them were like, you did my favorite artwork of the convention that I saw. So I'm like, oh, thanks. But
You can hear all those stories on our Patreon on the Friday the 13th episodes.
Yep, you should. Got another one coming up later in the year.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
This is the year of 3 Friday the 13th.
Is it New York?
I think so. Yeah, I think.
Wow.
Because you only got, one last year?
Yeah, one last year, and then we had 3 this year.
And it was just like, well, I guess this will sit on out for a year. Then we had March, was it February, March?
Yeah, whenever there's...
You had me delay.
Yeah. Whenever there's a February Friday the 13th and it's not a leap year,
March is going to have
one and November is going to have one. If there's a leap year, all bets are off. But I have to look and see if there's ever a Friday the 13th with a leap year. I don't know. I've never delved into that.
Me neither.
Obviously.
All this calendar talk is just too exciting.
Did you know that if you keep your calendars, you only need 11 calendars in your life because every 11 years, your calendar is reusable? I figured that out when I had a bunch of old Star Wars calendars.
Nice.
I was like, oh, this 1983 Return of the Jedi. Oh my God, I can use it next year. It lines up perfectly. So then I did
what I was doing 11 years ago.
Well, it doesn't work very well with planners because then,
right,
you've already written in all the...
Does the 7 days on the ring work if it's a leap year? If it falls, if you watch it like in the last week of February, do you get that? Do you miss a day or?
That's a good question.
That would have been a good hit in the movie from the skeptical.
It just gives you an extra 8 days. It's 8 days. And you're going to die in 8 days. I thought it was 7. It's a leap year, bitch.
You automatically got to kill the guy that asked that question in the movie.
That's going to be in the next sequel.
Scary Movie 8.
Right?
Yeah.
He didn't see it. I watched it, and it was terrible.
I never liked any of them.
I like the first one. I thought, what are you watching? Shakespeare in Love. I just thought, that was funny, whatever. But as they went on, it's just, shut up. I don't care.
They got real dumb. They got real dumb with.
Because you can only do so much, like with like an airplane kind of movie. You can only, like, that's why there was no Airplane 3, because you'd kind of done.
Well, yeah, and then Hot Shots does okay, and it's fresh again. I mean, even the newest Naked Gun, I get it, but I didn't find myself laughing. Like
I thought it was funny.
It was, but I mean, it was more, watch it on TV. It was more of the Seinfeld. That's funny, but not like laugh out loud like I did with Airplane and Hot Shots.
So you're not going to go to the theater and watch Stop That Train.
What is that?
That is, you got to listen to the last episode. That is a RuPaul movie. RuPaul plays the president, and 2 of the drag queens from her show, Ginger Minge and Jujubee, play train attendants who sneak on as attendants on Glamazon train lines, and then they are headed for a big crash and a whole weather event in Florida that's going to converge on Laurie Metcalf's house. And you have like a star. It's like an airplane movie where you got all these stars from, most people who have been on RuPaul's Drag Race, and they make cameos and whatever, and hilarity ensues. Literally.
It's quite funny.
It's pretty funny.
It's quite funny.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't know anybody other than RuPaul, will that work, or do I need to?
Yeah, I mean, you'll you'll see like Jerry O'Connell does a thing, Paul Scheer does it, like a little thing. Some of the people, like Sarah Michelle Gellar, you will recognize her, and you will recognize the tropes that they're playing. You don't have to know who the drag queens are or that they're drag queens necessarily.
I didn't.
Yeah, Sean didn't know anybody, and he enjoyed it.
I just felt like there was actually funny stuff in probably all of them at some point, but I just felt like it was like really trying hard to be funny.
Yeah.
And again, when you don't open yourself up to the movie, when you're watching that, you can just easily go, that's dumb.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. That's why the theater will always win.
Agreed.
Until it doesn't.
Until they run them out of business.
I mean, you get a movie like Toy Story 5 and you see how crowded it is on a Sunday afternoon.
Well, that's why I went to Galesburg, because even Disclosure Day, I couldn't get 4 seats together.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, and that was like several hours before all the showings.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to Galesburg and it's dead.
So I was the only one seeing the 8 a.m. show, Girls Like Girls.
8 a.m., Sean. 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And that had a ton of shows on Sunday.
Yeah,
That was like every half hour you could go watch Girls Like Girls. And I'm just like,
I was like, because dads want to take their lesbian daughters.
this is true. This is true. But I was very, very surprised that there were. I got off work at 12:30 and I was there till about 1. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have time before I have to go to my sister's house. Let me see a movie. What am I going to see? I'm definitely not going to see Toy Story because there's no way I'm going to see that with that many people. I'm going to go to like a 10 o'clock show. Girls Like Girls is like 1:15, 1:30, 3 o'clock, 3:15. I was like, what is
Maybe the theaters to store something in, I think. They were storing boxes in there, I think.
lesbian renaissance or what's going on? The Lesaissance? I don't know. Yeah. And there weren't very many people in my showing, but I accidentally walked into the 1:15 show before I realized. I'm like, oh, and there was quite a few people in that one. So, but yeah, I was just like, so many showings of this movie that I never heard of until this week. So
it's a good movie, so no one went to see it.
yeah, of course.
Because that's how it works now.
Well,
if it's a good movie, people don't go.
It's also not an existing IP, although that's not an excuse because no one went to He-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, enough people went to it, I guess. But
Obsession is...
that's the cool thing is that to see Obsession have the success it's having.
Backrooms is even though it started online, it's still not a film franchise.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that the most reliable movies now are horror movies and big tentpole IPs like Toy Story. Avengers is going to be huge this year. Star Wars was not huge, but I think if it had been not a show based on a TV show, it might have done better. If it was something like Starfighter, I expect that to do much better than Grogu. But I'm a little Grogu'd out. I think, he's cute, but you got to advance. He's got to be a little.
Though, like even with obviously whatever this Doomsday, I'm sure that'll be huge. But when you start losing the main guys and it's starting to go into these side characters, and they're same with Star Wars, it just feels like at some point at least you got to lower the bar for your sales.
Yeah.
You can't expect $1 billion. Maybe you can only get 300 million.
Well, and I think that is part of the movie industry in general. Most movies don't have lengthy legs. Like Obsession was like somebody said maybe $200 million soon.
Right.
And that's amazing for a movie that small of a budget. But it also beat Star Wars its second week out. So it's like word of mouth still means something.
But also something that's seemingly so original and not your typical movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming based on what you guys have said about it to be that. I mean, I suppose that's part of why it's doing well too, but that young audience is liking it. Like even my daughter and her friends all went and saw it and are kind of getting it. And I don't know. I just think that's maybe I'm just in a weird spot in life where it's no longer my movies, but
that's the thing and I said that during the Mandalorian Grogu conversation is like, this isn't my Star Wars and that's okay. It's okay.
It doesn't have to be. That's the thing.
It's a great movie for the kids to get into Star Wars with. I think that's a perfectly great idea for Star Wars to give little kids now an entry into that universe.
And it had some really great action sequences. That first 10 minutes of that movie was like old Star Wars. It was like, it really made you feel like the original trilogy and the prequels. It just really, really married those together. But it's also characters that you've seen so much of in your home.
Right.
But it was a very standalone kind of thing. It didn't have all the characters from the show, which I liked, but it was also, you had to know some of the lore going into it. And most people did, but everybody knows it's going to be on Disney Plus in a couple months. And
I would love to see them go back to making them wait 10, 12 months to see
yeah.
a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing movies of the 80s stuff, and I didn't remember this, but apparently when Return of the Jedi came out, it waited 2 years before they put the VHS out, and no one could see it except for like on CBS a couple times until it actually arrived on VHS 2 years later.
A lot of the
Or if you lived in another country, you could see it because some guy in Panama sold like 1 million copies that he stole.
I remember the Disney movies taking like a year to come out on video. It being an event for a second time, because now and then you go to the video store and they had a whole wall for Little Mermaid or whatever.
Yeah. Well, now it's like, there are movies that are doing day and date, which is stupid to me, but I also, this kind of like the shorter window started in the 80s with, I bet you don't know what the first movie that was like it was 6 months or less from theatrical to video cassette.
Black Rain.
Who's That Girl with Madonna? 6 months after it was released in movie theaters, it came out on VHS, and they made a big deal about it.
Desperate to recoup the money they were losing.
I mean, yes, that is the main reason. But it was like, as a huge Madonna fan, then I was like, oh, it's coming to video cassette and blah blah blah. And it was only, I think you could buy it. It was one of those first ones that you could really just buy without having to rent it. And I think I bought it for like $25.
Oh yeah. I remember wanting to buy like Batman. It was like $120 or something like that. Or you could rent it.
Yeah. Well, that was by design so that you would rent it, so that video
so they had
rental.
three sources of revenue.
Yeah.
Which again, I don't understand why they don't want that now. Although I guess Amazon has their streaming service, Netflix. So I guess if Netflix paid for the movie, I get it. But if you're any other studio, I don't know. It just makes sense to me to try to make the money 3 different times, or at least 2. But
and I feel like there are more people are going back to physical media. I mean, you saw what happened with records.
Oh yeah, I have a huge
they have really had a resurgence. Even CDs are starting. Cassettes, like there are limited edition cassettes for almost all the horror movies that come out. They do the soundtrack on cassette for people, and people are buying DVDs again. I go to estate sales almost strictly for the DVDs now.
I almost feel like they're buying one now. Like, I don't even know people listen to cassettes. They just buy them for the collect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Version of it.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. The physicals definitely has a new place that kind of went away for a little bit.
But there's stuff that's not like Silkwood, that movie. Have you guys have seen that, right? Okay. That is incredibly hard to find streaming. I mean, nobody's streaming it. It has to do with music rights, apparently. But I found that allegedly, but that's a lot of the stuff that's not streaming is because of music rights. The show Queer as Folk, right? That came to Netflix, and there is some really iconic music that goes in certain scenes, but Netflix couldn't get the streaming rights to, I think the song Save the Last Dance, which plays a pivotal point in the last episode for season 1, and they changed the music, and it completely changes everything, but they had to do that in order to get the streaming rights, and Netflix really wanted the streaming rights to it. Silkwood, I've heard, is because of streaming rights, or because of music rights on streaming. I found the DVD at a estate sale for $1, and I felt like I had the score of the century.
Yeah, there's a movie from 1984 called The Wildlife, which was written by Cameron Crowe. So, of course, it's got an amazing soundtrack. And you could not get that movie anywhere for years because there was no way they were going to pay for 2 Jimi Hendrix songs and Born to be Wild by Steppenwolf. Just never going to happen.
Yep. But I feel now that everybody's getting hosed a little bit, we'll see more stuff streaming like that. But
there are really a lot of movies that are not streaming, especially if you're an 80s fan trying to find some of this stuff. Even movies you would think are out there, they're not.
Well, I remember how many classes we run into where we tried to make a classic, and I was like, "Oh, it's not available." The sequel to The Last Picture Show, whatever that was called, I forgot.
Yeah,
Texasville.
The Last Picture House. Yeah, yeah, the Peter Bogdanovich movie with
Texasville.
Texas.
No, it's Texasville. You're laughing at me like I don't know what I'm talking about, but no, it's Texasville.
That was the sequel.
That's the sequel to The Last Picture Show.
Hey, couldn't get it. It's not. It doesn't exist.
Well, that's like Criterion and Arrow and these smaller imprints. Vestron Video has some horror movies that there's no other way to get them except for Vestron Blu-rays that are only $10. They release them super cheap, so you can go out and own them. And Walmart was carrying them for a while. There's one called Slaughter High. That's the first Vestron Video Blu-ray that I bought. And I mean, it's not a great movie, but it's got some iconic 80s horror imagery. And that's really the only way. You may be able to stream it now, but you couldn't at the time that I bought it. So,
Right.
I don't know.
Well, and anytime trying to find a movie to watch ends up in watching nothing a lot of times too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tyranny of choice. There's just so much. There's so many things to choose from.
That's why I watch the same 6 movies all the time. Although I have the Criterion Blu-ray of Paris is Burning, and I started watching that the other night. And I'm like, I think I might just have to watch this movie several times because it's just so good, and the people in it are so good, and so.
The movies of the 80s thing is so much fun for me because like I'm watching things I never would have watched. Like I'd forgotten the existence of Irreconcilable Differences.
Oh, with Shelley Long and Ryan O'Neal and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but I watched it.
Yeah.
Oh God! Then I watched that movie American Taboo, and it's like, oh my God, that's just a nightmare. It's a living nightmare that shouldn't exist. Like that's just some of that stuff out there. Or Fatal Games. Have you heard of Fatal Games? The Olympics horror movie.
What?
A horror film you've never heard of? Hang on, guys. Hang on. I get to tell Jeff about a horror movie. Hang on.
Well, we might get the Summer Olympics next year if we're all still alive. So maybe we should save that as a classic.
Absolutely not. I never want to see that piece of shit again. Because the big twist is that Sally Kirkland was a man.
Why are you ruining it?
Because it's some shitty fucking movie. It's a very anti-trans, hateful fucking movie, and I'm going to spoil it every chance I get.
Okay, fine.
How do you feel about Sleepaway Camp?
Sleepaway Camp's wonderful. I don't think that's an anti-trans movie at all.
Yeah.
I think she's more interesting than that.
Yeah.
And hers was the result of trauma, whereas this was she turned into a woman so she could compete in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. From the 80s?
81.
And Angela is not technically trans in the first one. Yeah, her Aunt Martha.
Exactly. She didn't get to choose that.
Yeah. Her Aunt Martha made her a girl. Aunt Martha? What? Martha? Wouldn't that be funny if, like, you AI'd Felissa Rose as Angela into Batman versus Superman?
Why did you say that name?
I have an Aunt Martha, too. And it just cuts to her thinking about Aunt Martha going, well, that would be terrible, wouldn't it?
I really liked that movie, but it was hard to get past the whole Martha.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish she was still alive to see how, like, it has had the resurgence. And Jonathan Tiersten, who played Ricky, just died.
Really?
A few weeks ago, yeah. Which bums me out because he was starting to do conventions again, and I was like, oh, I get to finally meet my childhood crush. So, who had the best line in a horror movie of the 80s, probably? Eat shit and live, Ricky. Eat shit and die. Or, eat shit and die, Ricky. Eat shit and live, Bill. I made a shirt that just says eat shit and live.
I've seen it. It's a film.
Oh, any final thoughts on The Ring?
I think Naomi Watts was incredible in it. I think, like, that's what riveted me watching it again last night. she's just so like natural, and you believe that she's frightened for her son.
Yeah. The kid is great. David Dorfman. He's kind of a creepy looking kid,
Mhm.
and he makes you kind of uncomfortable, but at the same time, he's still a little kid.
Right.
And I just read about him today. Do you know who he is now?
No.
He retired from acting in 2010, and he is now the general counsel to one of the congressional committees on energy.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Didn't look that far.
Okay. Because I don't want to hate that kid every time I watch this movie. Now
That's
that I
exactly
own it.
why I stopped looking.
If they do
at
find
that point.
yourself stopping,
Yeah.
just like, I don't want to know.
I don't want to know
Yeah.
which side he's on, because if he's on the wrong side, I'm going to have a problem.
Another thing too is
Like trying to watch Mel Gibson movies.
So I was telling Bob before you got here that I was like, I don't have this movie anywhere. It's not. I thought I had the DVD. I don't. I thought I had the Blu-ray. Don't. Wasn't on any of my streaming things that I have. So I bought it on Fandango at home. You can either rent it for $3.99 or buy it for $5. I now own The Ring, so I can watch it many times as long as that guy is not a douchebag.
Just don't look it up.
Just
leave it alone. Schrodinger's ring.
Well,
it exists in two phases.
I've seen Schrodinger's ring, and it's not pretty.
Terrible. You're a terrible person.
I am a horrible, horrible person. If the last 15 years of me guesting and then becoming a host on this show have taught me and the public anything, it is that I am a horrible person.
Can't stop me.
Next week, Superman or Supergirl. Supergirl is what it is. And I like the character in the Superman movie. I thought she was hilarious.
I am.
Yeah.
You should watch it. It's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Now my wife's gone for a week. Maybe I will.
I'm looking forward to it. I like Millie Adcock. There's a lot of hate going on because she's like, "Oh, super they them," and I'm like, literally, they just do not want to fuck Millie Adcock. That's what it comes down to. That's why they are, they do not find her physically attractive or fuckable, and so they hate the movie already.
So that's one of the nice things about not paying attention. I don't have to know all that people are hating for no reason at all. But